Good morning. It's Monday morning, and I wanted to share just a bit of wisdom and a bit of experience. I want to talk about something called integrity. My definition of integrity is what do you do when no one is watching? That is the perfect definition of integrity. Now, I know something about integrity. When I cycled from Johannesburg to Cape Town, it took me about 42 days and over 2,450 kilometers. And at any point in time, as I was cycling through the five provinces, I could have given up. I could have stopped and hiked, and I could have, flagged down a car and kind of got a lift to my next spot. But I didn't. Why? Because the mission and what I had to do was vital and important to me. It didn't matter whether there were cameras or things watching me. It was, what is it that I want to do? Why am I doing this? Why did I depart from Johannesburg? Why did I plan to cycle? Why did I want to cycle for the reasons I'm cycling? That shaped me and helped me in spaces when I could have, done less. It kind of pushed me, and that's the missing ingredient, I believe, in perhaps corporate and business, especially these days with the type of new normal we are finding ourselves in. You can't really track your employees when whether they're at work or not. You're trying to get them to log into Teams. Sometimes they're online or offline. You're not really too sure of what's happening, and even yourself now as an employee, integrity kind of is important and is vital because that training, that muscle, I see like, things like integrity is like, if you never had it before, it's like a muscle. You flex and you train. And the more you train it, the stronger you become. Now I know something about training and physical training. That's the world I live in. I remember when I started even preparing myself for cycling to Cape Town. I had to practice integrity even before then. Days when I didn't want to go and work out, days that I didn't want to push myself to that space, that inner drive. That's the integrity. Many corporates, if you walk into the offices, they've got these big, maybe perhaps signs about their mission statements and what they believe in. Integrity and accountability. Those are the two things that oftentimes are there. Employers are looking for someone with integrity. Even business partners want to work with people who have integrity. So you need to then harness that within yourself, and that takes practice. That takes a bit of work, and I can teach that. I can show you that. But fundamentally, it comes from you because integrity, like I said, is what you do when no one is watching. What are you willing to put in when no one is there to see you or commend you? When your line manager is not there to see you do the work, are you still going to perform at your optimal best, at your optimal peak? So it's fundamental that we know what's our inner workings so that we are able to give ourselves or an opportunity to have integrity. It's Monday morning, and I wish you an amazing week ahead. And I pray that you watch what you do when no one is watching, because what you do when no one is watching is something that kind of stays with you. It will propel you when you are in a crowded room. I know now that I have an unbreakable spirit because I practiced that in the wilderness when no one was watching. I know that I have a never giving up spirit because I made it to Cape Town 42 days later. I had planned to make it in 27. But what was driving me kept me moving and going. You need to find what drives you so that integrity is not like a question anymore. Your integrity is no longer questioned anymore. You've seen certain people who walk into the room, they're not questioned about, the time they're walking in, the way they're looking and so on and so forth, because we know that this person is on point. Look around, maybe perhaps your other colleagues, maybe they don't get the kind of grief that you may get or whatever. Or at school, maybe your fellow other students are not completely, they don't get as much trouble or they don't get into questioned or micromanaged like perhaps you might be. Maybe check yourself. Check what you do in your downtime. What do you do in your tea break, your lunch break? What do you do after work? What do you do in the morning? What do you do on the weekends? What are you surrounding yourself with? Integrity. I pray and hope that you may find that integrity, and I pray and hope that you may, once you found it, activate it and use it to propel your business and your work and whatever you do and who you are. I love you and God bless.